So Phil, with a hybrid edging system, how much does this aluminum edging cost?
So to the end user, the aluminum is going to end up coming out at about $2.06 a linear foot for the edging.
Okay.
The spike then is going to be less than $1 a foot.
Okay.
So that's what it's basically going to come out to. So when you're all said and done, it's about $3 a linear foot. That's if you're using it in a permeable application. But like I said, if you're going to use it in a dense grade application, using the spikes, and again, you got the two different options.
So for the dense grade, you're going to use the spike just as always.
That's correct. Then the only difference is with our hybrid edging, the spike goes in on a 60-degree angle. We call this stitching technology. As your spikes go in, you're literally stitching that into your gravel. So those basically spikes almost touch at the tips. So you're stitching that in your gravel, virtually eliminating any problem with uplift over time. So really neat that way. And again, if you're in an open grade base, you're going to use the hybrid stake, and that just drops down in these openings, and that's going to grab enough of that 3/4 clean stone, and that's going to keep from spreading, which is big. You do need some sort of an edge restraint. You look at any of your ICPI, any of those listings you see there, they're going to require some form of an edging to restrain.
That makes sense, to hold your pavers together. So how does this compare with, let's say, plastic edging, at a price point?
So plastic edging, you're probably at $1.50, and it depends what you're going to use for edging. Some run up pretty costly. If you start dealing with a plastic edging with maybe a geogrid attached or something like that, this is going to be way more cost effective, a lot less expensive. If you add in some of your labor, say you're going to do a concrete border, and you got a guy you're going to have to order your concrete and get it to your job, obviously keep it dry. You're going to have to get a wheelbarrow, a guy's going to mix that concrete, then you're going to trowel it on. You're going to want to enforce it somehow or reinforce it with either a geogrid, pieces of steel. Some guys use fiberglass in it. But kind of the joke in our industry is there's two kinds of concrete, cracked and gonna crack.
Right.
So at some point, especially in freeze-thaw cycles, that could break down over time. But our edging, obviously, it's the same exact way that a lot of our installers are used to installing. So you're not doing anything any different other than the spike's going to go on an angle if you're dense grade, and this is going to take its place. Again, you can use a hammer. You can use our Quick-E hammer bit that goes into SDS Max, and you can hit it in with a hammer drill. So either way, but it's still very fast, very efficient way of installing your edging, and you can get your jobs done quick, fast, and efficient. And even like you're not waiting for the concrete to set up maybe overnight, so it cures a little bit before you want to hit it with a compactor.
So if I'm looking at just straight numbers, if I'm a contractor and I call up a dealer and I'm looking for edging, at first this is going to sound like it's very expensive if I'm used to buying plastic edging. But if I really count all the costs, it's really not as expensive as it may seem.
You're absolutely right. Because again, if you ever have to go out and replace an edging that's done some uplifting, and again, you got to dig underneath that. You got to reset that. Sometimes you got to rebase. So that, obviously, you got to add all those costs up. So you can eliminate that right off the bat, switching to our edging. As far as any open grade base, there really is no comparison. I mean, concrete obviously is very inexpensive to buy, but if you have your time and your labor and mixing it, troweling it on, again, you're on your hands and knees, you're troweling it out, and then if you're going to wait a day before you come back to compact, so you don't, jeopardize the integrity of the concrete, you just got to add in all those things. I like to, and I mean, you even taught me this is about opportunity costs. Opportunity costs, and like you said, if you're going to spend an extra 15 minutes doing a task, you've lost a half hour.
Right.
Because that 15 minutes you spent extra, you could have been spent doing another task or starting another task. So very, very cost effective when you look at the overall picture.